So I said in an earlier video, and I just wanted to re-emphasize this part of the video and this kind of thought again. Today I was, at the ocean and listening to a video from 777 Alaya, A-L-A-J-E on YouTube. And I think that's a really interesting and pure source for information about higher consciousness. In the past, I've listened to Terence McKenna, pretty much all of his stuff that was available on the internet. And I think Alaya is along the same lines of waking up your consciousness to look at different perspectives and to think of things differently. And while I was listening to one of Alaya's talks, I just had this, realization that is triggered occasionally, when you get into deeper states of meditation, and that is that whether it's body scanners, the TSA, whether it's, these things that may not be good for you, or who's planning what, all of that is kind of a screen or kind of a distraction at a very low level of consciousness. The lowest level of consciousness, or a lower level of consciousness below that for most people, is like just, life is cool. You got your job, you got your house or your apartment or whatever, you got your car, and things are okay. And then you've got other people who are suffering and out of a job, and that's just kind of similar, good versus bad. You got a job, you don't got a job. Two different sides of the same coin. But through, the mundaneness of life or the dramas of life, it just becomes clear when you can still your mind that it's not about what's bad and it's not about what's good. It's not about what's working and it's not about what's not working. It's certainly helpful to know in your own life what works and what doesn't work. But when you look at it from the perspective of the soul, or from passing through this life, it just became very clear to me, through even a similar concept of reincarnation, like attracts like. And if you can imagine sort of a grid, maybe on a vertical line with these different points, and the lower points just curve down, the middle points just curve across, and the upper points, they curve up. And the lower points could be, you pass through this life, you were a really, crappy person, and you'd never helped anybody or whatever, and you just have this great opportunity to descend into something else as an afterlife or a next life that's worse than what you had. And then maybe, you were like most people, and you were on this good and evil path, and kind of status quo with the world and everything else, and whatever you're going to get next is just kind of like the same thing, like you're on a loop. Whereas if you can clear your consciousness and see beyond the dramas in life, see beyond the concerns over body scanners and natural disasters and everything else, fluoride in the water, whatever it is, then you're kind of on this upper inflection point. And if you can get to the point where you're just holding light, holding love, and whatever the drama is, just focus on this. And a phrase that came to me was something like, laugh. In the midst of what should be a terrible situation, or something that would make a lot of people sad, is just laugh. Laugh knowing that that light that you carry inside of yourself can't be affected by these outer things. And that you have the ability to rise above the situation. And a lot of times it's not easy to do that. But that when you're tuned into the light that's inside of you, then you create this opportunity that all the lights, all the people who are on the planet can also tune into a higher vibration. And I really think for the whole 2012 thing, this is the secret. This is the tipping point or the inflection point for the whole planet. is how many people can hold this light. So no matter what happens that's intentional or acts of nature that would make people think, oh my gosh, what's happening? What's going to happen to us? That if enough people can get to this realm of light and just hold the light, then it's like, magnets and compass points turning, and everything just starts aligning into a new reality. And that's really where I think the secret is. The secret is not about prosperity for you. The secret is not about you being at the top of your game or your team winning this or that or just living in freedom. The secret is to hold a vibration. That's what you came here to do. And if you can get there and hold that vibration, then whatever you want to call it, 100th monkey effect or whatever, it's not just about being positive. It's about really seeing light being in you and just locking onto that. And if you can do that, then 2012 or whatever it is, a really positive, beyond what you could think of as positive change can occur on the planet.